in standing. Then we're going to take it down to the mat. We've got a little bit of core, a little bit of abs, a little bit of glutes, a little bit of lower back strengthening. This class is for you. Modify as needed. I am a physical therapist first, and then a yoga instructor and a strength coach. Primarily cycling, running, but this class is for everybody. I'll try to show some modifications. We're going to start off in standing. A little yoga. I like to use it as our warm-up and our cool down. Listen to your body, right? This class is a chance to work on your core strength, maybe a little bit of mobility, flexibility, reach to the sky. Set your intentions for class. What do you want to get out of class today? We're just going to start off in standing with a nice little yoga flow. Reach, lean side to side. And just kind of checking in with our body. We're starting nice and slow first round. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the arms all the way down. Hang out in forward fold. Knees are soft. Give your lower back a little bit of a stretch, gentle. Knees are nice and soft, supporting the lower back. Hold it here for one breath. On your next inhale, halfway lift, flat back. We're going to go through the sun salutation 3 times and then move on. Abs are engaged. This is your hip hinge. Hold it here for one breath. Hands come down, step back into plank. We do have some planks today. Great way to add in some shoulders, upper body strength into your core work, right? That's part of your core, is that upper body. Hold it here. Pull the belly in, tuck the chin in one breath. Exhale, knees down, slowly lower, chaturanga. Uncurl your toes, set yourself up for this little baby back bend. Pull the shoulders down your back. I'm going to give you some options with weights today. That is optional. If you have anything, bring them to class or water bottle. Exhale back down. Uncurl your toes, push yourself back, downward facing dog, first one of the day. If you are like me, you have a tight calf, ankles, this is a great stretch for both. Hold posterior chain, stretch it out, spread your fingers wide, really press away from the mat. Drive your hips up high to the sky, pedal the feet. Give your calves and ankles a nice little stretch, flat back, really try to flatten the back as you bring that booty up way high. Pedal those feet. Ankle stretch, one breath. Here, we're going to go through that whole flow again. Yoga is for everybody. You're not flexible, that's okay. I'm not really either. That's why we're doing this. Supple body is a resilient body, not just strength. Inhale, reach to the sky. Especially my athletes, spend some time on your mobility. This is a nice flow that can work on that. Exhale, forward fold. Hang out here, knees are nice and soft. Halfway lift, inhale. Hinge. Brace with your abs. Hands come down, step back into plank. Number 2, again, modify. If any of these don't feel great, shoulders, having some difficulty, modify for your body. Hold that plank, pull the belly in, tuck the chin in. Exhale, lower either knees down or all the way down, chaturanga. Work those shoulders. Some upper body. I always like to sneak it into my core work. Especially for my endurance athletes. Push yourself up all the way to upward dog if this feels good. You can always keep it lower. If this feels nice on your back, enjoy this extension. We rarely get into this extension, right? We're always flexed over, hunched over everything. So enjoy this. Maybe rock side to side. This should feel good. Retract the shoulders down your back. Engage your lats here. It's going to stabilize, support your lower back. Last breath. Exhale back down. So we have some core work. We have a series of 3 moves. We're going to get in a little bit of everything after we finish our warm-up, and then we'll cool it down, stretch, and that's it. Subscribe to the channel. I host class almost every week live. You can check the recordings under the Core for Athletes playlist. There's a whole other core strength playlist for these little short little pieces of core work. Add into your training. Walk your feet up. We're going to go through this one more time, rolling up slowly. Last time through, guys. Then we're moving on. Some planks. Reach to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to do a little bit of a plank series, not too long. So again, modify as needed. Hold it here, flat back. Hands come down, plank. Strong shoulders pushing away, not sinking, push away. One breath. Lower. Uncurl your toes. Last time, guys. Enjoy this last extension of the spine in up dog or cobra. Pull the shoulders out of your ears. Open the chest, proud chest. Exhale back down. Breathe. Push yourself back. Downward facing dog. We're going to add on to this. So you can hang out here or take a child's pose if you ever need a break. Right now, if you can, we're going to come into three-legged dog. So that's going to be lifting one leg up. So have even weight into the hands here. Right. So for my three-legged dog, I'm really trying to push away from the mat, spread my fingers wide, even weight, really using my shoulders, lift the right leg up. Now you can just keep it here. Hopefully you can see me. Right? So my three-legged dog. Now if you want to add on, pull that knee all the way up the middle. Crunch. Turn this into a little bit of core work. Exhale and pull. Inhale, push back. Exhale, pull it forward. Again, this is not a beginner class, obviously, so this is intermediate, advanced. If you need to take breaks, please do so. If you want to just hang out in downward dog, please do so. If you want to hang out in child's pose, that's also okay. Or just plank. There's a lot of value in some planks. We're going to do a few on this side. Take a break, roll the shoulders and the wrists out, and then hit the other side. Now, if you have sensitive wrists, you can double up your mat or put a towel under your palms to give your wrists a little bit more support, right? I don't always do a lot of planks in my class because I know a lot of people have difficulty with their wrists and shoulders, but today we are. Use the breath, inhale, push it back, 2 more. Sorry, exhale as you pull it through. Exhale, pull through. I reverse that. Beautiful, bring that right foot down, bring the knees down, roll the shoulders and the wrists out. Wrists and shoulders, they need resilience as well, so that's okay. We don't need to shy away from doing this work, but be nice to them, right? So it's good to challenge your body a little bit. All right, let's come back. Same thing, other side. Again, modify as needed. Come back up, left leg. Hips are squared. You can hang out here or pull it through. Exhale. I'm thinking of this as a crunch, so exhale, crunch. Draw the knee up. And draw the knee up. So again, we're getting right into it, right? This is our warm-up, but we're moving. We're adding in some core work, some mobility. Let's do a few more on this side, and then we are going to get into our last little bit of mobility before we get into our core sequence. We have some obliques, we have some lower abdominals, and we have some glutes. So we have a trifecta of like a little bit of this and that for our core work. I really like to mix it up, so you're getting some diversity of movement. Your core encapsulates your glutes, your abs, your back, even your shoulders, I would argue, everything, right? 2 more here. 1 more. Bring the foot down, bring the knees down. Cat-cow, let's finish our mobility. If you've taken my class, you know I love me some cat-cow, right? Cat-cow is one of those nice ones that almost everybody can do and almost everybody loves because it feels nice working through your spine. I want you to really articulate through your entire spine, meaning work through every part of it. Do you feel any little sticky spots that you're not able to flex and extend? Inhale, exhale, use the breath. As you mobilize that rib cage, that's going to help your thoracic spine. It's going to help your entire spine move better. Use the breath. We need that breath. The more breath you have, the more oxygen you have, the more you can really do all your sports, be powerful, oxygenate all of the muscles, power everything up with nice blood. Inhale, exhale. Let's do a few more here. Last few. I'm antsy to get into this series. It's a good one. We're going to use our weights really just at the end. So if you want to add them into anything else or add on some stuff, go for it, right? Some days we do a little bit more with our squats, some days not. Come into seated for me. Let's get into our last little core exercise before we come down onto the mat. So we're going to go into a nice little Russian twist just to get our spine moving. If you have your weights, now is a chance to bring that in. So Russian twist, you are going to be here, right? This is our last little exercise before we come into that series of 3. If you have your weights, grabbing them close to your sides, leaning back and adding in that twist. Let's just get our core a little bit of warmth heated up for our series. So we have a series of 3. We're going to start off with some obliques. You're gonna be on your back for all of these, actually. So I'm just describing what we're doing. We're gonna do our oblique work, some ankle grabs, and we have some reverse crunches, which is lower abdominals, and we have some glute bridges. So our glutes at the end, I may change. So we'll do a little bit of bridges and a little bit of fire hydrants. TBD, to be determined, but you can use your weights for those glute bridges. So let's finish off with our twist. Again, just working on rotating, sitting up nice and tall, bracing my abs, opening my chest up. I'm not hunched, I'm sitting up for 10, 9, add that rotation, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place your weight at your side. We might use that at the end for our glutes. But if you don't have weights, that's okay. Some classes we do more glutes and more weights. So this is the series. You have ankle grabs. So if this is hard for you to hold, you can have your hands supporting your head. Basically, you're reaching for those ankles. Start now. Tuck the chin in. This is definitely going to require you to maintain that neck strength, right? I have to hold this position. This is one of those moves, and again, you can be here. And if this doesn't feel great, your neck is getting fatigued, you can also just do some bicycle crunches as well, right? If your neck is getting too strained. So these ankle grabs, I'm aiming for my ankles. It's a small movement, right? Doesn't look like you're doing a lot, but it should burn, right? A little bit of obliques, right? Creating connection across the body, really powerful for our sports and just to create some stability, right? As well as strength. So ankle grabs, again, if ankle grabs are not comfortable, you can add the hands. It's really this subtle movement side to side, or you can just come into some bicycle crunches. So that would be your alternative. And I'll try to show alternatives for all of these movements. Breathing, tuck the chin in. Long set this first round. Settle in. Reach, reach, reach. This should feel fatiguing here, right? Our first round is always usually longest. I like to get in some high endurance, obliques, core, really working on some core stability and some endurance in these exercises. Let's keep it going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We have reverse crunches next. 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Tuck the chin, maintain that chin tuck. That's going to help you keep that rib cage pressed down. So that's why I always emphasize that with my patients, with my athletes, with my clients. Your reverse crunch, you have option 1 is here. On the exhale, lift that booty up. That's level 1. Level 2, maybe a little scoop. Level 3, I want you to slow it down if you're coming all the way down, right? So if you're doing the legs lowering for all of these, exhale, engage your pelvic floor, squeeze, guys and girls, pelvic floor, squeeze, engage. And then I need you to keep that lower back pressed down as your legs lower. If there's a space here, that is wrong. You are going to strain your lower back. So this is advanced. I always caution people, you're gonna see a lot of people do these and they're not doing it right? This needs to be stability. It's an incredible amount of stability here as the legs get away from you. You're lengthening that lever, more weight away from your core. You have to press down even more here. So you decide how low you want to go, or if you just want to do these, that is still a great exercise. That crunch, reverse crunch. I call this lower abdominals, but it's really a lot of stuff, right? Your pelvic floor as well. A lot of deep work in that core, deep core. Exhale, use the breath. Exhale, lift. Again, this is our longest set. I like to also suggest if you are challenging yourself with an advanced lowering, lift your head up, please. Or try for a few, because that's going to help you reinforce this, right? So I have people who are like, their lower back is arching, and I'm like, lift up your head. The more you come into that crunch position, the easier, and that's not cheating, that's just doing it correctly, right? So you pick which level, we're almost done. You decide, and then really make it good. So whatever you're doing, it needs to be, the form needs to be there, otherwise your lower back is gonna get strained and agitated. 4 more. Lift. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Rock the knees side to side. Grab your weights. I'm going to place my weights up at the top. Grab your weights. If you want to do some basic glute bridges, you can add them in. 2 options. Weight on the hips if that feels awkward. Or if you have 2 dumbbells, just resting out on the hips. Great way to add some weights to your glute bridge, or you can hold them overhead and engage a little bit more shoulders and core. So you have options. So if you've got 1 weight, or you're just like, I don't like putting it there on my hip bone, then holding it overhead, you're gonna add a little bit of core and a little bit more shoulder, right? Just some stability here. Now, if you're like me, I don't really care. I like to put it on my hip, right? 1 weight, 2 weights, does not matter. Barbell, right? Right across the hip bones, right? So your glute bridge, this should be glute focused, right? So this is not an exercise that's primarily your lower back. So if you're feeling your back, squeeze your glutes more. Change your foot placement position. If you're just feeling hamstrings, you're not getting any glutes, squeeze your glutes more on every lift, squeeze. Change your foot position, in or out, closer, further. So that's your option. So this first round, we're just doing a basic glute bridge. Not super exciting. I just want you to focus on that engagement, that brain connection to the glutes. That's what this movement is. We might add on in our next round, but for now, we're just doing our glute bridge, and then we're gonna come back into those ankle grabs again. So we've got 3 rounds, 3 moves. Let me cool it down. And then that's it. That's how almost all of my classes are based, right? So I've got the circuit, got some mobility, some warm-up, some core, some yoga, some lower back, some glutes, a little bit of everything. Short, you do not need a lot of time to get this stuff in, you guys, right? I always suggest adding this in at least twice a week. If you're an athlete, in season, out of season, pro, beginner, I don't care. This is good stuff. This makes your body strong, resilient, not just for your sports, but for your life. 2 more here. 1 more. I'm gonna drop that weight down. Perfect. Come back to the ankle grabs. We're not taking a break because we are short on time. Reach. So I don't usually take a lot of breaks. If you need to take breaks, go for it. If we are working on some endurance, really building that stamina in our core, I'm not taking breaks, right? This is about really powering a lot of us, especially if you're into some endurance sports, or you just need it for your life, right? To have that endurance, right? We're not just doing power and strength with heavy weights. We're doing some endurance. So that's what these moves are about generally in my class. There's a time and place for both, the heavy and the endurance. And I would argue everyone needs both. Change my mind. 10 more. 9, 8, 7. And everyone needs core and mobility. Change my mind. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse crunch. You decide. You better make that perfect. If your legs are lowering, I'm a stickler on this because I do not want your lower back sore. That's not the point of this one. It's here. It's some deep core. It's integrating in. Squeeze, breath, hold, control, lower. That's the point of a lot of these core exercises. Can you maintain this stable midsection trunk as your arms and legs are moving? That is essentially the goal of a lot of this core work. Can this be stable, efficient, controlled while your arms and legs do what they're gonna do? Run, swim, bike, pick up kids, grab your dog, twist, get out of the chair, whatever, right? If you want great ripped abs, that's also a goal, right? But the primary goal is that stability, creating that like bulletproof core, right? This is your base, creating a more efficient arms and legs. Few more here, getting carried away. 4 more, talking too much. 3, 2, exhale, 1 more. Okay, glute bridge. So let's do a few, and if you have the weights, you can bring them back in. We're gonna do a few glute bridges, no breaks, right? No breaks, grab your weight. And then we're gonna place the weights down and we're gonna come into a marching bridge. Now, if you wanna just continue with these glute bridges, if you have some heavier weights, go for it. This is about a 10-pounder, right? Okay to start. Pretty decent weight to use for some of these core exercises. You can go less, you can go heavier, right? Hands on the hips or the weights on the hips, that's usually about as heavy as I'm gonna go. It's like maybe a 10 on each side, just for comfort's sake. Otherwise, you can then do like a hip thruster at the gym, which is essentially a similar movement, right? This is also kind of a hinge, which is a deadlift, right? So that's also another variation to this. This is this posterior chain, glutes, hamstrings, lower back. We need to be strong and resilient. And a lot of my athletes and patients, this is a big part of what we need to work on. So do not neglect this. 2 more. 1 more, drop the weights. This is more core focused. I want you to come up into this marching bridge, hold it up here. So when I say marching bridge, I mean this. So I always suggest start with the hands on the hips because A, it's gonna help you gauge how to keep the hips level and high enough. I usually see a lot of this happening, the booty sinking low. So use your hands to guide you. I also want you to do this because it's gonna give you that sense of symmetry, right? So a lot of people are kind of rocking side to side. Those are the same people that are coming to see me like, oh, my right knee hurts. My right hips hurts, blah, blah, blah. My right lower back. We'll work on it. So this is that symmetry. That's getting your brain to connect. Symmetry, one of my favorite exercises. Not super challenging in the same way that lifting heavy weights is, but that's usually not what people need. It's really more about this connection and some symmetry, some alignment, and some stability work, right? The little things, the core. 4 more. 3, 2. Last round, guys. We're jamming through this today. Reach, ankle grabs. I got to get in some stretching too. Now again, you can do bicycle crunches instead. So we're getting a little bit of obliques, a little bit of lower abdominals, deep core, and a little bit of glutes, right? So pretty well-rounded core workout. We did some planks. We did some mobility, right? So a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Finishing up, we got to finish with some stretches as well. Every class is a little bit different, but that's the general format. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse crunch, speeding through. This is our last speed round. Got to get our stretches in. Exhale, lift, lift. I always tell people, start with the beginner one, right? Perfect that. Really control, and then eventually you graduate. You decide eventually if you want to go all the way down, you want to hold weights, you want to turn this into a hollow body hold. So many options for progressions. I show a lot of these in some other videos as well. In 3, 2, and 1. Last set of bridges. You do whichever one you want. This is your class. I'm just going to go back to my basic glute bridge because why not? Value. There is value in the basics. Be boring. It's the consistency that gets you the results. Whether your goal is injury prevention or rehab, prehab, sports specificity, building strength, whatever, building abs, whatever, consistency, repeatability, right? Sometimes it's boring. That's life, right? Boring gets results. Consistency over time. 4 more. Squeeze each time. 2 more. We got to stretch. We might go over by a minute or 2, but you know what? We got to get our stretches in. Let those weights come down. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Let's cool it down, stretch. Rock the knees side to side. Give your lower back a nice little massage here. Again, I'm just going to take you through some sequences of movement. You can add on whatever feels great to you and modify as needed. This is your body. You might look different doing some of these poses. Extend that left leg along. We are all built differently, right? So your mobility, flexibility, your size, your makeup, your body type is going to look different than mine. So this may look different on you. You need to just listen to your body, cue into that, and just go with where it's feeling good and what feels good for your body. Roll the ankles and the toes and the feet around. Give those feet some love. Mobilize the foot, the ankle, That is our base of support. We often neglect our feet, and we pay for it later in life. Keep them healthy. With that left hand, bring that knee across your body. This should feel like a glute stretch or lower back if you're rotating more off the mat. Open that right arm out. Open up that chest, rib cage, upper body. And again, you may need to go higher, lower, right? This is going to look different on everyone, right? So maybe the knee's up high, maybe it's low, maybe you're rotated off. Maybe you don't really get a lot from this one. Add some other stretch in. I love this one. Keep the head relaxed. Maybe shake the head outside to side. We're usually spending at least a minute in these poses. You could spend more, but I would suggest somewhere at least around there. Really settle in. Slow down the breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale it all out through the mouth. Relax. Slowing down the breath helps to relax your nervous system. Relax. Let's get into a little bit of recovery mode here. One more breath. Inhale through the nose. Fill the belly. Exhale it out. Slow down the breath. Come back to center. Figure 4 stretch. One of my favorites. Also a stretch that almost everybody loves. You can keep it here. If you're really tight, this might be it. If you have more flexibility, you can reach through. If you have even more flexibility, you can do pigeon pose, right? Listen to your body, whatever's feeling good. For most people, this is a great hip opener, right? Which will help with the hip mobility, but also the lower back, right? These are big muscles that attach to that lumbar spine. So this can be relieving on the lower back as well as the hips. Also, it's just nice if you're active and you've been running a lot and engaging, or if you've been sitting a lot, your hips just feel tight. Roll the shoulders out, let the head be relaxed, release any tension. I really like to focus on that breath work, really engaging your diaphragm. That is another part of your core, your breath, diaphragm. Inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Take one more breath here. Exhale it out, unwrap that right leg, shake it out, release any tension, hug the left knee in, roll the ankles and toes around. A lot of these replays are up on my playlist. Check it out, subscribe to the channel. You should get notifications for the next live class. Bring that knee across your body. Open that left arm out, same thing, other side. Again, finding that position that just feels right. Like it's a good stretch for you. Maybe your knee is higher, maybe it's lower. There is no one way to do these because we are all built differently, which is amazing, and that is totally okay. These should always feel good. If any of these are not feeling good, then that's not it. This is not the one for you. Modify, change it, do something else. Hold it here. Enjoy the stretch. Breathe. We'll finish with our figure 4 stretch, and then we're almost done with class. That's about it after that. One more move. Come back to center. Figure 4. Stretch that hip out. Again, you have options. You can also just hug the knees into the chest, right? That's okay too. Again, letting the head go side to side. Relax. We're almost done, guys. We made it. Just thinking about what we're feeling with our body, anything that feels good or bad, or anything that we might need to work on. This is why I love this class. It's an opportunity to kind of check in, right? We're so focused on everything else. Checking with your body. How are you feeling? What needs work? Any niggling little things that are aching or whatever. You're like, oh, I need work on that left hip. Last breath here. Exhale it out. Unwrap that left leg. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. We are basically done. We're going to finish in seated, and that's it for today. Roll yourself onto your side. Prop yourself up into seated. Last seated stretch. That is it for today sitting. However you like. Nice tall spine. Let's finish with that nice tall spine seated posture. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale it out one more time, and then that is it for today. Thank you so much for coming. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time. Thank you, and I hope you got something good out of this class. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale out, that's it. See you guys later. Have a good one. Until next time.